You know that favorite old t-shirt you have? The one you wouldn't sell for like 10 times what you paid for it? Ever wonder why that is? Well, we're about to dive into that exact little quirk of our brains. It's something called the illusion of value.
So let's kick things off with something called the ownership paradox. It's this really weird, kind of contradictory relationship we all have with our stuff. And trust me, it pulls the strings in almost every decision we make.
All right, let's just jump right in with a question for you. Think about your favorite coffee mug. Or maybe that super worn-out sweater you just refuse to throw away. I mean, objectively, it's probably not worth much, right? But to you, it's special. So why is that? Why does your stuff just feel better?
Well, the answer to that question, it all comes down to this really powerful psychological principle, one that pretty much shapes our decisions and even our sense of who we are. It's a cognitive bias, and it's called the illusion of value.
So here's the core idea, and it's actually pretty simple when you think about it. Just the act of owning something totally changes how we see it. It's got nothing to do with the market price or even how useful it is. Nope, it's all about that subjective value. The value that only exists inside our heads simply because it's ours.
To put it another way, it's like our brain has this built-in feature that just automatically inflates the worth of anything we own. And here's the kicker. It's not logical at all. It's a cognitive bias, kind of like a mental shortcut that's just fundamental to how we're all wired.
Okay, so what does this illusion actually look like in the real world? How does it pop up in our lives? Let's take a look at the two very different sides of possession and see how our perception of value changes.
So, on the one hand, you've got ownership as preservation. Think of a cherished collectible, something you keep safe and protected, just like this. This is the good side, right? It's where we nurture and care for the things we value, and that just makes our connection to them even stronger.
But then there's the darker side. Possession can turn into a massive weight. And this image, wow, it's so powerful. It shows someone who is literally being buried, suffocated, by the very things that are supposed to mean something. It's that old saying, right? What we own can end up owning us. It becomes this heavy, heavy burden that just traps us.
And sometimes that chase for value for more and more possessions, it doesn't lead to some peaceful, secure place. It leads to, this. Pure chaos. This collage just perfectly captures a life consumed by materialism, doesn't it? It's fragmented, it's overwhelming, it's explosive. It's just that frantic, never-ending energy of wanting more and more and more. And putting these two side by side really just illustrates the extremes perfectly. Over here on the left, you have that quiet, careful, contained value of preservation. And then on the right, you've got the loud, destructive chaos of just endless consumption. And the wild thing is, they both come from the exact same place, that deep, deep connection we have to anything we call mine.
So looking at this contrast, you have to ask a really important question. Are we actually in control of the value we're creating here? Or does this whole illusion of value end up controlling us?
So what is going on in our minds that creates this super powerful and often really contradictory impulse? Is it just like a simple glitch in our brain's programming? Okay, to really get this so-called glitch, we gotta look at three key things. First up, there's the psychology of mine. Think about it. From the time we're little kids, that whole concept of mine helps shape our identity. Our stuff becomes like an extension of us. That's why losing something sentimental can feel like you're losing a little piece of yourself. Okay, second, there's a really strong link between possession and power. Owning things, doesn't matter if it's a house or just a favorite pen, it gives us a sense of control, of agency in our own world. And finally, we have to talk about the role of consciousness. This is so important. An object has zero value on its own until we point our attention, our consciousness at it. We are the ones who give it meaning and worth.
So, when you realize that our whole sense of value can be so easily twisted by just owning something, it kind of forces you to step back and ask a much bigger question, right? What even is true value? And that really leaves us with this final thought to chew on. If that extra value you see in your favorite mug is just a trick of the mind, a little illusion, what's actually left when you strip all that away? When you get past all the biases and all the possessions, what's truly real? That's something I'll leave with you to think about.